And so same way, we want our company to be acquired, then we go to people who were working with us before in the field. And so then we have a list of partners, we're only going after them, but here comes a lead which is nowhere related to what we are doing. They were not at all in a partner list for us. And for a moment I even brushed it aside, saying that one of my VP brought it to me. I said, okay, let's not waste our time in trying to pursue it, because why would they be our interest? But then suddenly something struck me in the next meditation, next day morning, and I came back and said, let's go on and do that lead. 2 months later, we are progressing with another meeting. They are deeply interested. 2 months later, the senior-most VP, who is running a $35 billion division, suddenly comes and then meets our team in India while I was at that time in the United States. Very unexpected, something very uncommon to happen. We were a small, tiny company of about $5 million revenue. A $35 billion division head comes and meets our team in India while I was in the United States, and then it rarely happens in any acquisition process. But then he decided to come and meet our team anyway. By then we were not even progressed, but then it happens. It happened. So then that led to another 6 months later, we had a term sheet from this prospect. A term sheet means they basically agreed to acquire a software company. Once you have a term sheet, then unless you really screw things up, then typically you go through file and then you would have it completed. And this is what happened for us. I mean, if you take it, then of course things don't work. Because after term sheet, they go to the detail of what is the company financials, what is the company software, company people, everything, real stuff, they'll go to the detail. All that happens. So, in exactly about 13 months or 14 months after I started this process, 13, 14 months after I started the process, I had a software company acquired by IBM Corporation. We were trying for this from 2012 to 15, 3 years in very, very many ways. Nothing would happen. But 15, once I sort of understood the software concepts of manifestation, then when I put them through, in the most unexpected way, the leads would come in, most unexpected way, certain meetings would happen, most unexpected way, the whole thing moves in to get this acquisition done. We will go through some of the concepts that over a period of time, what I learned from Patriji, what I learned from many masters here, manifestation is a beautiful process to experience the unlimited. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever that you wish to experience can be experienced, because it's called a field of possibilities. Any possibility and every possibility exists in the quantum field. Means whatever that you can think of is possible to be created. The science is that way. However difficult it is today about our health, but if you truly, really believe in a process and then apply this manifestation technique, then it is possible to then heal yourself. The whole book of You Are the Placebo is just that. How many people have read this book called You Are the Placebo? You. How many are new to meditation here? Okay. So dear friends, today we'll do our best. This is normally a 2.5 to 3 day subject, but I will cover the tools, and then within that one of them in a lot of detail. It's a 1 day program, so that you get introduced. The sequel to this would be a 5-day retreat that we do in Pyramid Valley or different places. That is the most appropriate in case you, and then we will be given sufficient information today that you will be able to go forward and power yourself for manifestation, which is by itself good enough. So, yes, let me start this. And I came into meditation in the year 99. Dr. G.K., who is my younger brother, he introduced meditation to me and met Patriji pretty quickly. Within 2 months after he introduced meditation, I didn't take it that time, so but Patriji was questioning that your style of living is not right, and Patriji is questioning that you do not know about life. These are the exact words used on me among 100 people. At least double the number of this room. I just came from a vacation, came for a vacation from the United States, and my dad just took me there into this room, and then I sat next to him and asked him some question, very silly question, I guess. Then he just looked at me and said, "You don't know anything about life. You don't know anything." And then it didn't stop there. He showed a small boy and said, "You learn from this boy. Boy knows more than you." Then I said, "How can you be so harsh like this? And whatever it is, you can tell me." And I didn't bother. I just walked away. I said, why are you walking away?" He just walked away. The ego self was hurt deeply. First time for me that this can also happen. But only later realized Patriji was very, very compassionate. That we all have our own mask. That mask will go slowly, it takes a long time to remove it. And then he was about cutting it off just like that. He was about cutting it off just like that. So he later understood, I don't have time, your time is valuable, my time is valuable. I don't want to be nice to you. And I try to massage you, you go and slowly bring it. If you take it, you come forward. If you don't take it, it's okay. There are a whole billion people out there on the planet to be taken care, and so then I am going around. But that got me thinking. For 3 months I was like hurt. I was shouted at my dad, I shouted at my brother. I said, "What the hell, what kind of person you brought me in," and all that. But then at some point that I asked myself, if I leave this path, because he said there is so many ways. I heard, thought reality, many things are there. If I leave, Patriji has nothing to lose. But if I hold on to this, I might have everything to gain. I said, okay, so let me explore, and then start exploring meditation. And then it took me some time to experience what it is, even first to understand. The logical mind didn't want to really believe it. And then I was listening quietly. People were sharing many experiences, saying that no, I was requiring a bypass surgery. 3 weeks later, doctor told me nothing required, do what you're doing. Then he was sharing that. They didn't have to go for surgeries because poor people didn't have money. But then they are ready to take meditation seriously because there's an alternative is there. This is what we do now, right? When we run out of money for hospital treatment, we go for alternate therapies. Until that time, we keep working on ourselves because money is there. A solution won't come. It will only prolong the problem, extend the difficulty for some more time, and then afterwards, eventually, we come to the realization. And so, when I started, after a few months of it, when I started practicing seriously, then in 2 months, I had tremendous changes in the way I thought about life, in the way I thought about relationships, the way people respond to me. That thing that Patriji said, you don't know anything, when I was deeply hurt, it no longer was causing that hurt to me anymore. Instead, it only made me introspect. Okay, somebody is saying something, it is something that I attracted onto me. So something that I can introspect. Meditation made me to introspect, go inward. To say, what can I learn here? That 2 months of meditation practice, which I started doing sincerely every day for an hour or so, helped me to, number one, release my stress, helped me to see and then change the people around me behave differently. They're behaving differently. Meaning my bosses. I always was so much that we had 3 founders. One of the founders was the CEO. I thought he was biased towards the other founder. Everything, because every time some project comes, he would go to him. Or every time some important thing comes abroad, he would go to him. So I thought he was always biased. But later, after 2 months of practice, I recognized he was only trying to help the other person, whereas I'm more self-marketing, I'm more good at clients' situation. So usually you are put into the most important projects. Even though business is which way? Business is that okay, wherever the revenue is there, that's where you are put in. Not where the good technology is there. Business, that means senior management will put you towards in projects where revenue is there. Not necessarily where good technology is there. I was a technologist. I was looking for where I can go in good technology projects. But I was always put into where companies' revenue is more important, so towards that. So I used to think it is a biased thing because I always wanted it, but it's not coming. But my approach changed towards when I understood this, that okay, if I'm not getting it, there must be a reason. So I started thinking from the other person's perspective, not only my perspective. Meditation made me to think from others' perspective. So you put yourself in other shoes and say, what would you do if you are there in the situation? You take the best person and put it in the right role. And so it's no longer then cribbing about it. It's suddenly changed. That itself is good enough for me to have a good relationship with my boss. Stress is not there. This is great. And then I had a health condition which also got solved during that time. How many people they heal some of your health through meditation? Right? Okay. So I had a health condition which was primarily an ENT issue. An ENT issue, which we say a natural deconditioning does not happen when you go into a height, when there is a pressure difference is there. If you go in a flight, you go into a mountain, the pressure difference is there, ears get blocked because there is due to the pressure difference, and the ears should get unblocked when you come down to the normal ground level. But that is not the case for me. Ears would get blocked, but they won't get unblocked when I came down from when the flight lands. And so it would be a difficult thing for me. It is pain, it is suffering, it is intense pain. It is like, nerve pains. The nerve pains, I had experienced nerve pain also because I had this huge stress or whatever, the backaches were there quite a bit. And now this flight difficulty was preventing me from travel, really doing air travel. And I was traveling quite hectically between India and west coast of the United States in those days, and so that was a challenge. But to my great surprise, now for this I went so many doctors. I can't tell you how many doctors I visited in the United States to see how to get a cure for this whole flights, traveling, air travel. But no cure. They concluded that it is only going to happen, it's a lifelong situation because this is a bent nasal canal, decongestion doesn't happen quickly, and so this is going to be a problem. Many people have this. This is our medical community then concluded, saying there is no cure. You got to just bear the pain. There's nothing else you can do. And then of course decongestion tablets and then some sprays and all that they gave me, which I can use 3 days before, 3 days after. So I used to carry those medications, but with a lot of fear. Every time I took a flight, I was like fearful because the pain would still come anyway. They gave me painkillers after the fact, but pain comes and it is there anyway. But to my great surprise, dear friends, in 4 months after meditation, this condition disappeared automatically. Automatically disappeared. I was never expecting that this would happen. One of the next flights that I had to take, because this is there in my mind that a body heals. I carried medication, but I said, let me experiment. My thought process changed. I said, let me experiment. Maybe it's going to work. And it's exactly that way. I landed in Singapore. From Singapore, I took a connection to San Francisco. From there to Portland, Oregon. So all of these connections, no pain. In those days, connections mean 12 hours. If you had a pain, 12 hours in a doctor facility was also not that great in airports. Now everything is there. And then you wouldn't even get access to doctor, and it's going to be a very challenging situation. But then to my great surprise, I didn't use the medication, things worked fine. So a month after that, then I said, let me drop medication because of my insurance. Carrying my medication, my insurance, that placebo is there, okay, in case something happens, I can take it, now drop the medication also. And still I was just cried. And so thereafter, this is sometime 2002 December, to date I didn't have to take medication. I don't reach out to it and I don't fall sick. And then if you fall sick, you know that you can heal. You don't think about it, you don't go to hospitals, neither you have to spend time. And then what does it mean? It doesn't mean that, it means for a busy person executive, it means that you save half an hour of half a day of time. You know it, if you have a medical appointment, you have to go, and you go, appointment, come back, especially big cities, it'll take half a day of time. Then more importantly than that, for traveling that I was doing everywhere, all over the world, then it would be a lot of anxiety. I saved myself all the anxiety. That okay, now I'm going into this remote place, what will happen if something happens? So those are the two important things that significantly helped me to become free from the travels. Once I became free of medication, then no, it doesn't matter. No, if you're going somewhere remote, some bite will come, something will, poisonous thing will come and then hit you, and so then suddenly what to do? No such things at all. Won't even think about it. Won't even think about it. In fact, there was a time when at Pyramid Valley International, one of the days in the early beginning of the days, I went for a trek to a mountain, on a hill right there. I went up to the hill, and then as soon as the top of the hill, three of us went, one young boy and then one old lady, about 55, then I was 30, 35 maybe. And then we went up to the hill, and then as we were there right in the top of the boulder, beautiful, I was just about to enjoy, and suddenly hit me here. I said, what is this? And then I did this, and then 1 became 10. And then I did this, then 10 became 100, and then there were bees. Wild bees were just, it seems like, while climbing up, because this is a remote place, nobody ventures, we just went up. Because right there the Pyramid Valley is nearby a valley, here hills. And so the bees were started coming in and then badly stinging. They are the wild bees. And somehow there's a different story. Somehow escaped, running because they just won't stop. But at least you would have 300 stings on my back. At least 300 stings on my back because I had to remove. I removed my banyan and shirt and then covered my face. That lady did not cover her face. She had everything on her head. So different people had different faces. But I had my back was exposed. At least 300 stings were there. But still, didn't have to take medication. The courage is there for the body to heal. It's called mind to matter. It's called mind to matter. If the mind is strong, then your body or the matter is created the way you want it. Matter means experience of life. Matter means experience. In this case, body getting healed. In this case, body getting healed. In my company case, the experience of an IBM corporation coming in against many odds, coming in and then still being able to acquire, and so the experience is created because that's the dream that I was having. There is a book that is the most. While You Are the Placebo was introduced to me in 2014, then subsequently around 2020 we discovered a book called Mind to Matter by Dawson Church. This is if anyone wanting to know this real science behind all this, how thoughts become real, and this is the book to read, Mind to Matter. In many ways, there are people who are able to accelerate decay of radioactive material to their thought. They did an experimentation. A radioactive material takes 230 years to decay fully. 230 years, one material. There are many materials are there. That particular material takes 230 years to decay fully. And so then 23 years it would take for decaying 10%. And then the 23 years was collapsed to about 8 to 12 weeks by a Chinese master. As he kept applying, is thought to decay the radioactive material. Right? DNA coils were wound and unwound through thought. So the DNA coils were unwound and wound through a thought by somebody applying the thought. So many ways your thoughts have the power to create. Right? The thoughts have the power to, of course, destroy too. And so I'm ever grateful to Patriji, who brought this fundamental concept. Meditation is there to apply this concept of thoughts create reality. Patriji was big on thoughts create reality concept. Patriji is big on meditation. Only two things that he taught. Meditation, thoughts create reality concept. Then he also said, you're not the body, you're the soul. You're not the body, you're the soul. You're much beyond the body. Don't limit yourself at this tiny matter, bones, molecules, muscles, and then stop yourself. You are beyond that. You are soul, then which we consider, we now correlate it as energy. In spirituality, it is called soul. We correlate it as energy. So, ever grateful to him in my journey with him. Then subsequently, when I came into contact with Karthikeyan sir, so Buddhasi Quantum Foundation, that you are teaching this wisdom in the form of manifestation science and meditation programs. Ever grateful to our mentors, Karthikeyan sir and SVB sir, Ramani sir, and then Dr. GK, through whom I have learned meditation. Then once I came into meditation, I saw these benefits. I'm associated myself into this knowledge called Pilmar Valley. How many people have gone here? Pilmar Valley, right? Everybody must please go Pilmar Valley. We have to go next time, right? So this is the Makkah of meditation. Let's put it that way. It's an amazing place. You will come? No, not come. You will come. Yes, you will not come. When will you go, madam?
Whenever now you...
Whenever that retreat is there, okay. It's an amazing place. The real forest, of course, will continue to be a forest, but then we build this beautiful place, Pilmar Valley International. So I just felt that this knowledge must be given. In 2002, when I had my transformation, then I felt the knowledge must be given. The moment I thought about it, suddenly the opportunity to participate in this project came. I became one of the board members in there, and I had an active role in building this place up from nothing to today what it is where we are serving. We already served about 4 million people in teaching meditation. And then we have, on an average, we get about 300 to 400,000 visitors in a year. And then meditation goes to them all the time, and of course many workshops happen. So it's a great place for sadhana practice, great place to practice. It just makes me feel great because you are, while continuing your work and everything in your daily life, then you also contribute to something more meaningful. Meditation makes us that way. How many people are doing meditation service here? Meditation makes us that way. The more we go into deeper practice and right practice, the more we start connecting to the outer world as if that's me. And so the more you start giving it. So let me understand and explain a little bit about placebo. How many people know about placebo concept? Placebo concept, okay. So, how many people know this experiment? Who would like to explain this? A researcher asked my patients. Yes, Neha madam, you know this experiment? No, you don't know. Okay. I'm just trying to say because I've been working on many projects. You probably know.
Yes.
Don't remember though.
No, of course I remember.
Okay. Asthma patients, this is a medical clinic in the United States. So what they've done is they've taken asthma patients and then given them vapor. They give them inhalers. They're doing research. And so they said, we're going to give you inhalers which will reduce your symptoms. Other way. So we're going to give you inhaler which will increase your symptoms because we are trying to bring this medication to understand the effect it has. And so I'm giving you inhaler. In this we are putting in some chemical that will increase your symptom. Don't worry about it. We are here. We'll take care of it if something happens. And so they gave them inhalers with that chemical ideally, but instead they put only water vapor. So inhaler filled with water vapor given to them, but they told to them that it has a chemical, it will increase your asthma. And so then they all inhaled, and then what they found is that give water vapor but told the inhaler contains allergen, and then what they found is that 48% experience symptoms, 30% seriously. So they're simply inhaling water vapor, but 1 in 2 have experienced symptoms, and then 1 in 3 had serious things that they had to be again applied the real medication to bring it down. Okay. So what is happening here? So they believe, because it's happening in a clinic, medical clinic. Clinic in India is a small thing, but in the United States, clinic means a big hospital. Alright, so they were administered by an authority, and so then they never doubt. Okay, they must have given, and so that's why I'm getting it, and so I'm definitely going to have my asthma flare up. That's how they're thinking, so it started happening to them. Okay. Now the reverse was also observed the same way. Now what did they do reverse? Now when their asthma is high, ideally they should be given a medication to bring it down. Now this time is even more dangerous. The clinic said, okay, now I'm giving you a real medication in this inhaler, so you take it. Now this time, guess what they did? They put the real allergen, which would actually flare up the asthma. But they told them, we are putting medication, and so like I'm giving this lemon water, whatever some medication which will bring the asthma down, but they actually put the allergen, if they take it, it should ideally flare up their asthma. But exactly the reverse happened. They were breathing in the medicine or allergen, which would increase the condition, worsen the condition, but then it actually improved the condition. So they all started feeling better. Are you with me on this?
Yes.
So, the medicine did not have really an effect here. It's really the belief had an effect. How many moms here are doing this to your children already?
Sugar pill technique.
They are done. They all do it all the time. Right? Especially in the middle of the night, something doesn't happen, then you do it anyway. Now this is a even astonishing experiment. This is with chicks. So Rene Poe, and you can search for this name, and this is there all over internet. A robotic experiment he did, and so what he did was with chicks. So he took a magnetic needle. There is a magnetic needle, and then he took a table. And then he created a canvas on the table. Then this needle is kept in the center. This canvas on the table, and this needle is a magnetic needle which will plot a graph. It is connected to the needle, it will plot. Alright, think of the needle as kept like this, it can go around this way, that way, and then plot. And this needle is connected to a random number generator. Random number generator. What is a random number generator? Something that produces numbers randomly. Random counters. In science we understand the counters that produce random numbers. The best example to this is the housey game we play. What is the housey game called? Tambola. How many have to know about this game, Tambola or housey? More than less, right? You know it. So that game, what people do, they start taking out coins, right? It's random. It's called randomness. So every time you bring a coin out, it will be 30, 40, 60 like that. It is between 1 to 100, isn't it? So that is exactly what they did. Think of this counter is also random. Every time you activate it, it will produce a random number. They calibrate the random generator to produce numbers between 1 to 100, exactly like Tambola, right? 1 to 100. So every time you activate the random number counter, it will produce one number between 1 to 100. And every time the number produced 1 to 100. Now 1 to 50, they calibrate this needle to go this side. 50 to 51 to 100, they calibrated in such a way that it goes the right side and plots. So first 50 left side, second 50 the right side. So as the counter is started clicking, and then 1 hour later, this is what they found. The random number generator producing numbers randomly. That means if you are all playing Tambola here, and then let's say game takes about 15 minutes, what will happen in 15 minutes? Will the numbers come generally evenly and only shoot on one side of it? When you play Tambola, numbers come on all sides? Generally they come all sides. That's what is random number supposed to be. If you just do it 3-4 times, it will be probably on one side only. But if you play for enough time, then it will have enough numbers all sides. Right. So this is what happened here. After 1 hour, the random number generator produced something. Is it equal? Left side, right side is equal?
No.
Is left side 60 and right side 40?
Yes.
No 50-50.
Something like that. Maybe 60% this side, 40% this side.
Yes.
So that means the random number generator 60% of the time it produces numbers 1 to 50, and then 40% of the time produced 51 to 100. So that the plot came on the right side. But still, it is not 20-80. It is not 10-90. It is still close to getting equal. Perhaps if we played for 1 more hour, it would have become 50-50. Because that's the nature of randomness. Okay. So let's stay there. So somewhere you are not exactly 50-50, but you are close. 40-60 is close. Alright. Now they did the same experiment this time with a cage with the chicks in the cage. 15 newborn chicks in the cage. 15 newborn chicks kept in the cage. They repeat the same experiment. Only difference is that 15 chicks were kept. Newborn chicks. Very strong, sir. Newborn chicks. Very strong. They have so much power is there. Newborn chicks. They are very strong.
Health-wise or nature-wise?
A newborn chick is, how many people touch a newborn chick? They are like so fragile. You do anything like this and they can just fall off. Right? They are very fragile. But here is what happened. Then 15 chicks were put. The random number generator, everything is same. Everything is same. But the graph stayed only to the right side, and that too more close to where the chicks are there. You see so much density here? Only few items, few times it went to the left side, afterwards it all practically stayed on the right side. Now the random number generator is still producing 1 to 50 also, but the needle stayed on the right side. What is the reason? It would have been something like this, but it's all here. What is the reason? Who can tell? What's the reason?
It's energy.
Energy.
Living being is having its vibrations and energy around it. So
Okay. And so then they came towards it.
everything.
You are coming close. Then, come on, those who attend the program before, please tell. So the reason is chicks, newborn chicks find their mother to be anything that moves around them. They don't have good eyesight. The only thing that moves around them think that is their mother, they'll go to that. Now what is moving here? Needle. Now needle is going to the left side, can they go?
No.
They're in a cage, they can't go. So they can't go to the needle, but they want to go because it's moving, that's the mother. So then what were they thinking in their mind? I want to be, they won't say I want the needle to come, they say I want to be close to my mother. Yes, that's my mother, yes, I want to be close, that's what their thought is. And so their energy of these newborn chicks was able to move the needle towards them and then kept it towards them only all throughout. Because they were so much fully wanting to be with their mom. Okay. Do you think that chicks were doubting?
No.
So this is my mother, maybe not my mother. Do you think they doubt?
No.
They don't have the logical mind that no one has. When you don't doubt, and if you put your intense thought with feeling, then manifestation happens. This is the placebo effect, right? So chicks are able to do the effects, and of course humans have such a powerful conscious brain for imagination, and then we must be able to do it too. This is also the reason of why people who chew glasses, people who are snake charmers, why do you think nothing happens to them? It's not fake. The placebo is there for them. They believe that their family, they are just fine. The body can take over, the body can support it. Thailand people chew glass for street play. They need money. So they take glass pieces and chew them. And nothing happens to the body. And the snake charmers keep getting bitten again and again and again. Nothing happens to the body because the body, they have conditioned to their thought process that my family, nothing will happen to me. Okay? And so if you believe, the moment you doubt, now those people in South India during that Kerala, that festival time, they always they walk on the fire.
Yes.
Do you think they're doubting, oh, it's going to burn or not burn?
No, no doubt.
They go into the trance state. They know that this is it. There's no two way. There's no two thought here. And so then they're able to walk on the fire and then come out without having any issue at all with their feet, right? That's the intense belief that we have to have, dear friends. So the Rathanvel, do we have like a tea break? Can you find out? So there are many research things like this. They call placebo effect. Many research. I didn't talk about many. I only talked about the 6 experiment and then something else here. This injection to a nurses. Then Harvard experiment is there, something amazing. And the devotees of masters, when people go to Ma Amritanandamayi and then they feel with the hug, they get a lot of healing because they truly believe in their mind that no healing is happening. And most of the time it's your belief. Jesus Christ said, and if you have even if you have the faith of the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains.
Yes.
Right? Faith of the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. And then when people were walking and they would touch his robes and then they would get healed. Then they would say, because I touch your robes, he said, it's your faith that is healing you. It's not me, you touching my robes that is healing me and healing you. Right? That's what you would always tell. It's your faith in me that is healing you. So the concept of placebo, dear friends, is that if you believe something strongly, then it happens. We are trying to make a case here about our thoughts create reality. Our thoughts and feelings create reality. On the contrary, how many people know about this experiment? All know about this experiment? Okay, good. That means our content is not repetitive. So this is an interesting. On the contrary, if you believe in something, you can create it. Here, they've taken this barracuda fish, big one. They prey on smaller fish, and they've taken barracuda fish into a big glass container, like say this room size, and they release the barracuda fish on one side, and they release the prey fish on the other side. What will barracuda do? It'll go and then eat the fish. Then they put more fish again. Then after that, it'll go around. The one you put fish, it'll go there and then eat them. Right? So barracuda fish is doing it. Then what they did is, after some time they put a glass partition in the center of the hall. They put a big glass partition, see-through, toughened glass. So then they release the prey fish on the other side, barracuda on this side. Now it tries to go, but then it can't go. So it gets hit, turning sound is there, then it turns around. Then after, immediately it tries, because it sees the prey fish there, right there, it can prey fish is there, it'll hit, it can't go, it'll come back, it'll hit, can't go, come back. It'll try 10 times, it won't happen, then it'll slowly go up where something is there, it didn't know. Then it gives up, then after 5 minutes you'll see again, prey fish, it wants to go and then try. Like that it tries for a few days, and increasing, each time it increases the duration between when it tries. After half an hour, it stops trying.
Oh, wow.
Now it's just on this side only. So then they nicely remove the glass partition. Right? And so then it should go, but it doesn't go. So this fish is here, barracuda is this side and that is that side, because I just simply believe that it's not possible by it. So what you think is possible, what you think is not possible is also true. Because it made up in its mind that it's not possible by me to go that side because something is there. Right? Most of the time, this all is the difference for manifestation difference. We tie ourselves in our mind about certain things not happening or happening. And then depending on how you think about your health, your business, your promotion. Now let's talk about promotion. Everybody wants promotion. How many people are working here? Either your business or you're working?
Working.
Yeah, somewhere there. Okay, so you want a promotion. then what do? We look at and say, okay, there are at least 3 more people who are either favorites of the management, or they are more senior, or they are more technically competent. And so for whatever reason we find and say, okay, how did it happen for me? I don't think this is possible for me. We always make up in our mind, because that's how we say that's reality. That's what happened last year, that's what happened previous year, that's what happening regularly in our company. They only promote those who are there before me are a lot more technically competent. That means that they have got a lot more excellence ratings. Now tell me, if thoughts create reality, then what is the thought we are sending there? We are saying somebody else is more better qualified than me. Or the company generally has this kind of thing and so they do it. And so then how can you get? But you want promotion, but you're tying in your mind that it's not possible for various reasons. Who gave the reasons? Who gave the reasons to? We gave the reasons to ourselves.
But certain things are true. Like pleasers are always promoted.
What is that?
Pleasers.
Pleasers are promoted.
That is true.
So now what is that? If thought creates reality, what is that? Pleasures are promoted, but some things are true. That means you're already removing what I said, number one. Every time you use a but, you're removing everything that's been said before. You're saying, yeah, all that is good stuff. In reality, it won't happen. But now I want you to step back and say, thoughts create reality. Pleasures are promoted, is what is said. And if you not put yourself as a pleaser, then you're not going to be promoted.
Yeah,
but is that going to serve you?
Huh?
That is that serving you. Pleasures are promoted. Is that serving you? That particular thought process serving you?
But that's how I see it.
No, but is it serving you? Answer my question.
No.
Is that thought, is it serving you?
No.
What do you want? You want promotion or no?
I'm okay the way I am.
If you're okay, then anyway you don't have a intention. But if you have an intention, then we say, then put in any thought that is serving you. Don't put a thought that does not serve you because of no use.
Because I can't be a pleaser. So
First of all, you put a thought called pleasures are promoted. All I'm saying is, you step back and remove that thought that pleasures are promoted. You say, I am promoted. If thoughts create reality, all you have to go is to change that thought from pleasures are promoted to I am promoted.
Yes.
That's all it is. You don't have to be a pleaser. Thoughts create reality. So let's understand this concept through quantum physics, infinite possibilities. So the point, dear friends, is that now placebo effect is there. Then many successful leaders. This is also important to understand. They are making the case in different ways through placebo research. And then here, just by going by the statements, like Mahatma Gandhi, man is but a product of his thought. What he thinks he becomes. This whole lecture today, madam, if you thought that I'm going to give you a lot of things, I'm really going to drive in a way that it's all about thought. Okay, it's all about thought. There are many ways why we go into a negative thought and a reality that we don't want, and so we are just bringing it out. One is thought, another is going into high vibration. There are two aspects are there. We come into high vibration, meaning like just expressing gratitude. When things don't go right the way you wanted, how can I still be happy? Called acceptance state. The manifestation always happens when you are in a neutral or a happy moment, happy state. And then you have right thought. When the manifestation happens. So whatever you're going to learn is centered around those two aspects. The thought create reality you will absolutely learn. In a ways where you don't even realize you're going to a negative thought and limiting thought, we'll identify those as part of sutras. And then how do I lift myself up into a higher vibration state, in a positive state, so that I can actually think and then about good thoughts. So man is but a product of his thoughts. What he thinks he becomes. Mahatma Gandhi. That is life. That is life experience is what he's saying. Just like how my experience I'm saying. Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited, imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress. So imagination is emphasizing on imagination. Another Indian leader, Abdul Kalamji, always talked about it. Dreaming, imagination are the ways to go where you want to go. Rather than limiting yourself, he wrote a big blueprint of Vision 2020. He had a great imagination that India become one of the greatest countries in the space. He imagined about it. It's unthinkable, isn't it? Do you think it is possible for someone to imagine that? But he did it. Because he was imagining about it since since late 70s. Right? Because he knew, by the way, Abdul Kalam was a meditator. He had a Guruji, one Swami, an Indian Swamiji was there, and he would always used to go to him. Okay? Then Henry Ford, if you think you can do a thing, or think you cannot do a thing, you are right. Right? Somebody created so much, contributed so much to the industry, even to the world. His personal experience. And so that's why he went and created such a great automobile industry, the whole industry. Napoleon Hill. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Walt Disney. Can you imagine? If you can dream it, you can do it. And he has done it. How many people have gone to Walt Disney here? I mean, the Disneyland here. Some way or the other would have gone to Disneyland. Okay, the most incredible creation, that a man-made creation that one can think of. The beauty, the art, the grandeur, the creative activities that happen, that everything is just an incredible. If you have an opportunity, experience once. Niagara Falls once, and then some Disneyland once. Just to see how can even a person think like this. There's so much of that beauty just overwhelms you there, man-made beauty, and that's Walt Disney, right? So it's all just by dreaming. He created a different world completely. If you go into this Disneyland once, you'll feel like in a different world. Buddha, what you dwell upon, you become. So there is those who are there as some very well-known philosophers, masters, and here are businessmen, and here spiritual masters. Buddha, what you dwell upon, you become. Jesus Christ, it is done unto you as you believe. Adi Shankaracharya, whatever a person's mind dwells on intensely and with firm resolve, that's exactly what he becomes. Intensely and with firm resolve, that is exactly what he becomes. Esther Hicks is one of the new generation, new age spiritual scientists. It's about manifestation. She has written some amazing books called Law of Attraction. Anything that you give your attention to will become your truth. The Law of Attraction says that it must. Your life and everyone else's is but a reflection of the predominance of your thoughts. There is no exception to this. Predominance of your thought. Where is your thought? Your thought is about this is going to definitely fail and fail and fail. Or this thought is saying that no, I'm going to be absolutely the winner here. I'm going to absolutely create it. I'm going to absolutely go and learn and then experience that divine in me in my next meditation. How many people are doubting your meditation experiences?
No.
How many people say, okay, it's not possible by me, it's not happening for me? So your thought, we also create that. If I believe and say it is possible for me to experience the divine, that ecstasy in meditation, that blissful states, you will go into it. In meditation, always go into the states based on what you believe. If you say, oh, I've just started, look at these people are there, Sundar Raoji is there for the last 10 years, I've just started, so I think it's going to take some time. It'll be like that. Simple. Even your meditation experiences are going to be that, because in meditation, when you are in this field, we are always attracted towards that possibility which is reflecting our intention. That's all it is. If I want to know about my past lives, and that's what I'm going to be, predominance of thought. That's what you said, right? Reflection is predominance of your thought. So if you keep thinking about, okay, I must know about my past. What am I? Why did I come here? Where am I going? And then if you keep thinking about it, in meditation, you will be revealed of such experiences that make sense to you about who you are. Okay. Van Dyer, his books must be read, by the way. Anyone serious about manifesting something great in your life, his books are also very, very good books. You see it when you believe it. You see it when you believe it. First you have to believe. If you don't believe, and then normally what do? I believe and I see. What is our general state? I believe and I see. But spirituality is saying that you believe first and you will see it. Right? She said, pleasures are only always given promotion. Now the thing is, sir, you have to show me that it's true, then I'll believe. This is how the logical mind is always. When I was there in Los Angeles, very, very successful doctor, and I said women have disadvantage in society is a belief. Women have disadvantage in the society is a limiting belief. Yes, or it's true? Women have disadvantage in society. Women have disadvantages in the society. Belief or truth?
Depends on your belief.
Belief. There you go. Give a big clap to madam. Right? She is a very successful doctor in the United States in Los Angeles. But she kept asking, what is he saying? I see in front of me every day in the boardroom and everywhere so much of partiality is there and so much of whatever differentiation is there. And of course it is there. This is exactly. Of course it is there. She was believing so strongly that women have disadvantaged society. Then what will happen according to the statement? You see it when you believe it. Then should she be seeing more of it? It is just so intriguing that if you believe so much, then she'll keep seeing more of it, and to make it a lot more reinforced that yes, it is true. She is trapped into that whole thing, and so it's difficult for her to come out of it because she believes so much that she keeps seeing another event where women have been shown partiality. But the moment what this whole concepts are saying, the moment you change your thought from that to something else, it's exactly changed. That's why, madam, you have to definitely change and see what happens. Okay. So, dear friends, then Bruce Lipton, more scientist type, your thought shape your reality. He is the one who talked about this whole epigenetics concept that your body, your genes are reprogrammable. How many people know that genes can be reprogrammable? I was shocked when I read that more than 96% of the genes are reprogrammable. You know what it means? All the beliefs about hereditary must go away.
Right.
Genes, we say, no, oh, my parents' genes came. Oh, my family has it, that's why everybody has it. So there's such a strong belief is there, then we end up having it. Oh, by the time 55 or 60 comes, everybody in my family gets it. So that's going to have to get it then, because that's what you're creating. Right? But now enough science is there to show that genes upregulate or downregulate based on your thought. Right? Upregulated genes means they produce a protein to create your cells. Downregulation means there is no production of new cells, new proteins, so new cells won't get produced, and so the body decays. So Bruce Lipton has done so much contribution by bringing this concept of epigenetics, beyond genetics, where there is no hereditary that the way we believe to be can be reprogrammed by just thinking about your health differently than the way you've been told. And then Joe Dispenza is an amazing master, my favorite. He is his books for manifestation must be read. Bruce Lipton books must be read. Jerry Hicks and Esther Hicks and Van Dyer, next level. But his, and then Joe Dispenza, and then Bruce Lipton, and then that Mind to Matter. There are the three top books that I would say one must read before you read other books. Right? Mind to Matter, You Are the Placebo, and then Bruce Lipton book is Biology of Belief. 3 books. If you read these 3, you will have sufficient understanding. While I talked about it, but you will have plenty of understanding about this whole thought create reality with practical examples. Right? Many practical examples. I gave some. So, from quantum physics, dear friends, this statement is also true. That our energy becomes matter through observation. This will not go into the detail today, we won't have time, but in a 40-day program, those of you not joined, you understood, we have done through quantum physics experiment classes we show. And essentially, quantum physics is saying there is something called double-slit experiment. The double-slit experimentation demonstrates that everything, number one, is energy, not matter. How much energy? 99.99% emptiness, which is energy. All emptiness is energy. It's full of possibilities. That means infinite possibilities means infinite ways things can happen. Infinite ways things can happen. They can happen based on how you think. Who wants to become Prime Minister of India here? If anybody has a dream, think about it. Or an MP, local MP, MLA.
I wanted to ask this question. It was in my mind.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Prime Minister, okay. I would like to become Prime Minister. Now, what is your number? Is it possible or not possible?
Possible.
It is possible, but
It is possible, right? So the whole manifestation is an holding on to the possibility.
how to remove doubts? Because
That's where we are going to go through. Meditation is the way to remove the doubt. Meditation is the way to remove the doubt. Meditation helps us to go into this field of infinite possibility and you start bringing miracles into your life to ways then you start believing that yes, this is, if that has happened, this has happened. And number one. Number two, now it's not just about you sitting and say, okay, I'll meditate and I'll become Prime Minister of India. Now, when I started getting my company acquired and I started imagining about my company getting acquired, leads came. I said there is a story behind that, why that $35 billion business head came to our company in a very early on acquisition. Nobody comes. Miraculously, that fellow came. When he came, then everybody in the company became very serious about our software company acquisition. Because a very senior person comes, suppose, and then meets you. Then suddenly what happens in some management? Oh, he went and met, and so there must be something. I have to be very serious about evaluating them, and a proper report I have to give. I can't be just careless. I can't just ignore it because he'll ask me next time. So we never expected. So meditation, when you do, is bringing these miraculous things to move you towards your goal. Things that you can be unthinkable. That company which came, I said, we were looking for some other list of companies. IBM was down in our list. And I almost was also giving up. But the least expected possibilities keep happening to you when you meditate, moving you towards your goal. Okay. We have to be experienced. It is right now theoretical concept, but it has to be experienced. That means we have to practice sufficient meditation.
I have a question.
Yes.
But is it about preparing for that eventuality, or is it about expecting? So there's, like you said, that into the earlier point that pleasers get promoted. So if you remove that thought and you say, I will be promoted, but somewhere is it about saying that when that opportunity, the next opportunity comes to be promoted, you are making sure that you have you're ready and prepared for that to make the greatest.
You are creating opportunities by creating a thought and a wish. The way it is set up is to experience life through your thought. So if I want to become a CEO and the company just hired a CEO, then they will say, how is it possible? Right. Is there a possibility that CEO can leave?
Yes.
Is there a possibility there can be a joint CEO?
Yes.
Yes. Is there a possibility company acquires another business and so then you are made a CEO of that business unit?
Yes.
So like that. There are so many possibilities that get created because you are wishing to experience something. Okay.
But you don't go after the possibilities, right?
You don't go, you only go after your experience that you seek. What experience are you seeking? Why are you wanting to be a CEO? There must be a sufficient passion and an interest for it. What experience will it bring to you which is different from where you are today? If you have clarity about the experiences, then automatically, then consciousness is looking at it and saying, here is my child. Just like a child, Our children want a toy. Children, if they already have a toy, they itself is not using it, you don't bother about it. But he's using it in a way and then they're asking for something else, they say, oh yeah, he's definitely doing great, let's get him 2 more toys and you'll give it that way. That means he's using and he's doing certain things. So same thing here. If we are clear about why we are asking for something, a lot of times we don't have clarity of why we're asking. We're simply asking because somebody else has it. But if I am clear that I'm asking because it brings me that satisfaction, it brings me that ability to contribute more, it brings me that the opportunity to travel around the world and then meet more people. So if you are clear about why you're looking for a specific role change or whatever, then manifestation is there because then you can believe also. If it is simply because my neighbor is doing it, I also want to do, that's not good enough for you to feel great about it. You feel great only your interest in specific activity or experience. That's when you can feel great about it, otherwise not. Right? If you hate travel, But then you just for the sake of somebody is traveling and then it always sounds very sexy and so then you want to do that all the time. But you can't bring up the feeling about it. Right? You don't like travel, but somebody is doing traveling in a party, they always talk about I go here, I go there, and for that reason only you say, okay, I need to go into that road to become travel. You will not be able to, because deep inside you hate travel. You cannot bring a feeling associated with it. But here you just mind to core, your mind is telling you, okay, a party comparison is coming, my wife is asking what you're not traveling only anywhere. Then for that reason you're doing it. Our spouse is asking, let me correct myself. Okay. Okay, so dear friends, I'll skip a few slides. The thing is, most of the time, we all have dreams and then we all have goals. But the goals and dreams most of the time are not happening. I don't know. But those who it happens because they are great manifestors. Some CEOs, serial entrepreneurs, they only always believe strongly about the vision and the goal, and then they know where they're going, and so they're able to go hold their attention onto it. But for many, we're not able to fulfill our goals and dreams. The New Year resolution we take, or the birthday resolution we take, we don't carry through because somewhere there is something called limiting beliefs, the subconscious beliefs that are saying that, okay, only I can try, but only pleasures are going to be given opportunity. Okay. We have a goal though. Yes, I'm going to wake up every day and then do my exercise. I got to really pump some iron to get fit again. Get that muscle again. We have that. But our body is saying tomorrow is there. Deep inside tomorrow is there. And so 2 days later, when you're trying to put the alarm and say tomorrow is there, so why bother today? So that the limiting beliefs are not the deep ingrained thoughts in the subconscious mind stop us. Okay. I was also exactly like that. My company, the reason it was not getting acquired for a long time is because I started believing. And how do these beliefs get formed after you experience a few times? I started believing that it is going to be difficult for my company to be acquired by external investors because we had too much of history. We had cap table change twice, we had CEO thrice change for a startup company. 3 times CEO change, and then stock cap table, those of you business oriented understand it got rewritten twice. So they're all, and then it's a company already 12 years of years only. So 12 years, so what is something wrong must be, that's why it's for 12 years. So all those beliefs set into me and say, okay, because of all these reasons, it will be difficult for my company to be acquired. I didn't know that I started forming that belief in me. Because every time I went to an investor, they're asking such questions. Oh, tell me why is that you couldn't grow your revenue? Tell me why is that thing happened? I will say, okay, 2008 there is a big stock market crash, investment issues were there. That's why we had to rewrite the company stock table. I had explanations for everything, but then deep inside, I had this belief that it is going to be very, very difficult. And so then, without realizing, I was sabotaging anything that is going to come in the way because it's going to be difficult. Okay. So, dear friends, our brain, yesterday I was talking about in the conference, right? Briefly about this concept, and then a 40-day program I talk about this. Very, very simple. It's just getting our mind retrained completely. The 2 aspects of the mind. One, the monkey mind, which is going everywhere, you have to rest it, because your attention goes in 10 different things. If you want to manifest, you ought to be onto something, right? So attention cannot diverge into many, many things. So that random thoughts, negative thoughts, all of them have to be shut down. And then the beliefs have to be deeply examined and then reprogram or remove the beliefs that I have, if I have. Only after getting to know about this concept again freshly, we learn but we forget. When we learn, we forget. So we need to constantly do this work again and again so that we identify what are the limitations. I learned about limiting beliefs in 2009 in a big workshop like this. But slowly over a period of time I forgot about it. So I found many limiting beliefs. And then Only after looking into the Dr. Joe's books again, that thing came up to me that, okay, so I didn't know, but I had so many beliefs. So once I worked on them, things just started working great. So meditation and then wisdom. So the wisdom we're going to learn about these 5 sutras of manifestation is will help us to go into a new future along with meditation, right? So what meditation is scientifically doing is this analytical mind is dropped, which is what is stopping us from going us to go and then put a new belief here. And subconsciously we've got all the beliefs right there. Pleasures are getting promoted is a belief. Now that needs to be changed. But the analytical mind is saying, what are you saying? Like the doctor is saying, women have disadvantages. How can it be? This is exactly how he was asking me. How can it be that they don't have? Madam, tell me Indira Gandhi what happened. Tell me Mother Teresa what happened. Tell me, you have some of your people who are in the boardroom, what happened? If they all can be there, why is it not possible for you? Why is it not possible for you? No. Those are not at all. But I see right here, it is happening to me. And so then this analytical mind is based on what we experience, is not helping us to go down, to look at that as a potential belief. Right? Meditation talks the analytical mind, so then you are right there with all your beliefs that you can start examining. Right? If you know that there is a limitation. The thing is, here whatever is there is a truth. The belief is a truth. 8 hours of sleep is a truth. Right? 8 hours of sleep required is a truth. Body requires sufficient amount of protein and calories. Is that a truth? Body requires sufficient amount of protein and calories for it to survive.
No. Yes,
True?
it's true. True.
It's a truth.
True.
But there are so many yogis who don't eat and then they're able to survive too. So then what is it? Is it a truth or is it a false statement? Many yogis don't eat, don't sleep. Tell me then what is, for them it is false. For us it is truth. When it is truth, we don't question it. Their truth is body does not require anything. It depends on how you are thinking about yourself. Your truth is that body requires food. So because of the truth is there, you will not question it. 8 hours sleep, yeah. So even though you get to know about it, you will not question it as a limitation. Money gives problems. Truth? Money gives a lot of problems. Is that? Money gives a lot of problems, right? Because of money only people have been always fighting. Because of money only there are so many conflicts are happening everywhere. I get promotion, I get increment, I get that bonus, and so then everybody sort of going for it, trying to rub each other. Money gives problems. And so then when you have that belief, then you will not attract money. When you have that belief, you will attract money because you are saying that it's going to give me problems and you don't like deep inside problems. Alright, friends. So, just a primer on meditation with placebo concept we understood. I'm just going forward a little bit. Those of you new about meditation, you please do join if you go into our app, there is an introductory program, 1 week introductory program is there. There's a free course on it. Please go through it. Right? Just to revise just to understand the concepts a little better. Alright? Those of you already are on a 40-day program and you're already meditating, it's okay now. But those who are new, go through it. 1 week program, first 1 week, so you'll get a lot of detail and then you can get your practice right. But we'll start a meditation now. But the meditation fundamentally is not only helping us to train the mind, that conscious mind of thousands of thoughts, subconscious mind of limitations. It will help us to examine and then reprogram them. But meditation by default, because as a thought process changes, everything changes. Your body changes, your health is there, energy is there, your mind capabilities are increasing. Now there is more scientific. Because meditation increases your neural capacity, a lot of mind capabilities increase. Emotions get controlled because meditation builds a lot of awareness. Awareness means, suppose in a situation normally you get very angry. Or in a situation where you are seeing a person who is very challenging in your office. Normal thing is that you try to avoid that person. And meditation brings that awareness to say, hey, why am I avoiding? Can I go and then stay there and then understand what is the challenge rather than avoiding? Okay. Avoiding means you lose opportunity. So awareness is required to be able to, about to burst out, and awareness is required so that now you can step back. And meditation brings that awareness, and so it's called emotional regulation. So a lot of people experience that. How many people are controlling their emotion because meditation came in? Where you don't just like that now. Of course, if it was 60 times out of 100 before, now it will be 10 times out of 100. Right? It improves. Everything is gradually. So everything is there. Our focus today is this one, manifestation science. Right? In our 40-day program, we cover all of it. But today, of course, we're going in detail, which is not necessarily covered in our 40-day fully. We introduce the concepts there. And so there are all the benefits that happen with meditation. So meditation is a process to go within, is simply resting the mind of these thousands of thoughts. Right? And what do we do is observing the breath is all that it takes to go into the meditation, your natural breath. And so I want to introduce two techniques. So those of you who are new to meditation, it's called breath mindfulness meditation. That is done by either sitting on the floor like this, or in a sofa or a chair, with across your feet, fingers into fingers, eyes closed, specs removed. Be comfortable, you can take back support. Then observe your natural breath anywhere on the nose. Put your attention on the nose. Your eyes closed, put your attention anywhere on the nose, preferably in the middle of the eyebrows right there. And then observe your breath, the natural breath. When you observe the breath slowly, mind becomes empty. Thoughts come down. So you have to remove the spectacles. So we'll go into some meditation now. So as you observe the breath, mind becomes empty. You experience emptiness. Be with it. In case you have thought, you bring your attention back to the breath again, and again observe the breath. And again you slowly go into the empty states. Called breath mindfulness meditation. Relax yourself, dear friends. Be with your breath, dear friends, your eyes closed. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath, dear friends. When you observe your breath, your mind slowly becomes less and less of thought. As your mind is becoming empty, you experience greater emptiness. It is natural to have thought. When you recognize you are in thought, go back to observing your breath, your presence. Be with your breath.
As your mind is becoming empty, allow yourself to experience that emptiness. Inside of you, all around you. If you find yourself in thought, go back to observing your breath in your presence. Thoughts are natural, thoughts are common. the emptiness. The calmness. All emptiness is energy. You see the quantum field of energy. The more open you become, the more miraculous you become. I'd like you to express gratitude. Can you express gratitude? Right? I mean, this global conference, so much energy is required. Now, Rakesh is there, then he lifted so many things by himself. Then morning to night, and our team is working on for like what? They're sleeping 2-3 hours for like continuously 1 week, 10 days. Only 2-3 hours they're sleeping, but then it kept working. But then where is that energy coming from? Because we constantly, he was recharging himself with regular meditations. Every now and then there are meditations where we would just sit in and meditate, right? That energy is there, which is otherwise, again, how do you manifest an event like this, right? And it is not done through hiring people, it is done through volunteers, and everybody comes together with an intense amount of positive energy, and so then you get the care, you get their attention is there, their intention is that I want to really make this successful. And so that energy is important to manifest. And so all of this, dear friends, one way is meditation is a great way, and you can work on many emotional management techniques are there, but meditation is sufficient. I have showed those circles, PQ, IQ, MQ, EQ, SQ. Everything happens through meditation. Everything happens through meditation automatically, because meditation, for example, emotional intelligence, there is situational awareness, there is a region here called parietal cortex here, which is behind, this area is called prefrontal cortex. This frontal cortex is the CEO of the brain, which is like guiding everything. An area behind this is for awareness increase. So it is sort of making us aware whenever situations are happening, rather than just reacting based on the past. It is giving us a little bit of extra awareness and saying, hey, wait, a snake is there, you run away or you feel scared, but instead this time look at the beauty of the snake. That also is possible, no? Some people don't get scared and then they are there to actually look at the beauty of the snake, because you learn that animals and snakes are great, right? And so that is the thing. This gets active. This area of the brain gets active. So you build a lot of awareness, and awareness is there. Then you don't react from the past. Instead, you also in the present. That's the whole idea. It's called awareness. So scientifically, there is so much of research now saying that meditation builds that awareness. Meditation, of course, is disconnecting from the past, disengaging from the past, so that you're not unnecessarily having unwanted thought. Then the present moment. Present moment means whatever you're doing, your attention is there. There is a principle called where you place your attention, there you place your energy. Okay. So if I place my attention on a relationship, the relationship will eventually improve. If I don't put my attention, what will happen? Slowly, it can go away, right? And it's very simple. Everything, if I put my attention on a project, it will be successful. If I don't put attention on anything at all and then expect it to happen, then chances of its success are very less. And so attention, where you place your attention, there you place your energy, is a quantum principle, because the attention, our thought, attention means thought, drives energy. Every thought is electromagnetic energy, and so then your attention is there, so automatically that energy is flowing towards it, and so then things start happening there. Okay. So the idea is that when you regularly practice meditation, then we get very focused. We develop our health and all of this while they're taken care. Our mental abilities are increased, our concentration improves. So first thing is that this whole, and then the scientifically speaking, so there's an aspect of it. So when you meditate, somebody said, I felt relaxation. So you are here in alpha state. You're very relaxed. That gentleman yesterday, Eric from Switzerland, was talking about alpha state. This is the alpha, positive thinking, fast learning, relaxation. A lot can happen here. In alpha state, a lot of things will happen. One of the things is solutions. Ordinary solutions can come in this state. You're thinking of problems about very many things at workplace. You need solutions, and then solutions come readily. It'll feel like, this is the best solution, that you don't doubt it. Okay. Many a times at IBM or in software is a very complex software. Works on large scale systems. Large scale, big servers. For example, if you take HDFC Bank, it's serving millions of clients, and so the servers are very, very huge. When you install the software on them in multiple pieces, then if some problem comes, you need to know where is the problem. Your application like ATM can run across hundreds of servers. Where is the problem? You need to know readily. And then if you go up it one by one, it will take forever. By the time you have is like now, if ATM is down, how much impact the bank will have? You have that now. So your ability to identify problems quickly, then where will you find one by one or quickly? Intuitively you will know. And so the solutions will come when you are in the state of alpha. Right? It happens, you readily get that things that, okay, this is where the problem could be. The idea is that the thing that exists knows. The air traffic controller knows what's happening, and so then it knows where is the problem, why things are happening. So same way, we will understand when we are into the alpha state, normal solutions. Theta state is creativity and lot more things, flow state. So that means you are really creating a lot of stuff. So one is that, and then second, meditation is lowering the stress. Now all of these are one master class in a 40-day program, each one. Okay, I'm talking in a minute, but in a 40-day program, they cover through in-depth science, like for example, how meditation lowers stress, this whole fight or flight mode, feel-good hormones, everything is talked through in 2-3 master classes. So those of you not joined, you can take the statements, meditation lowers stress because it activates sympathetic nervous system, feel-good hormones are there, fight or flight mode, all of this. You understand it, but we know that ultimately lower stress improves mental well-being and mind power. So it's a one statement, and it does through meditation because of all these factors. Now to know more about it, please join a 40-day program to get to know it better. But of course you can search for it and you'll get plenty of information on the net too. But the point is, meditation is improving mind powers. Okay, meditation is increasing health. If stress is gone, 90% of health has come. And the more positive you become, the remaining 10% health comes back to you, which is like epigenetics concept. You start changing your body mechanism, and so then remaining things that are there will come back to you. The third thing is that meditation, of course, is you cannot control circumstances, but you can control your thoughts. That's what children do. Issues happen, but then at least you are aware and then you move forward. You don't get stuck there, which is emotional intelligence, right? So emotional intelligence, as I talked about, meditation is improving significantly. In our programs, 80-90% people are saying that they improved significantly, okay? This Graham Phillips, somebody wanted an experiment. 8 weeks of meditation, he changed by 25%. That means in 6 months or 8 months, this person will be a totally new person. He is able to control his emotion, right? Various cases here, co-workers triggering, all of them are, some way or other, derailing you from manifestation. You have to understand this, right? If co-workers trigger, then we no longer focus on a goal. Instead, we're focused on how that fellow has to be now put to place or whatever, right? Our focus is shifted from our goal of getting the sales target. Now somebody made a comment, nasty comment, then I have to see my boss calls me out in this entire review. No, this is not right, and then either you are ready to take on him or you just keep suffering about it. Your focus is gone, right? What an insult I went through. And so then all things are there, dear friends, which are coming in the way day to day. Now everything becomes a non-issue. Everything becomes a non-issue because you recognize that you don't just like that get perturbed out with what they say. Just because your manager said, okay, you always come at the last minute and say you're not possible to deliver. This is a statement they make. Last minute you'll come and say this is not possible to deliver. You're putting company in problems all the time. The statement he makes. You know whether you are doing that way. You know if you are doing your best effort possible. And if you are putting your best effort possible, and if you did that client meetings best things possible, and if they still say it, you say, okay, that's their view, but I've done my best possible, and they may not understand, but they will understand later. So then you pull back rather than trying to react to it, right? It's very important to perform better the next day, right? To still stay focused on your goal. And so then meditation is doing this emotional intelligence greatly. So that is the first thing, right? What's the first step? Being focused. Being focused means having good health, lot of energy, emotionally strong, and you have abilities to learn and relearn and a lot, right? The second thing is openness to possibilities. So this is, everything is energy and there are unlimited experiences in the quantum field of energy. So this is let's try to understand this a little bit. How many ways we can think? How many ways you can think? Infinite ways you can think. One thing you can say, if thoughts create reality, then infinite ways you can think, infinite ways you can create them. That means you have infinite possibilities, right? Everything that is possible to happen is an experience. So you have infinite experiences to experience because you can think infinite ways, right? I can build a big software company, I can build a Buddha Seva kind of organization, I can teach, I can become a great author, I can become a great politician, whatever that is that you're thinking, but everything is possible because your thoughts are there, thoughts create reality, so it just comes back to that. The quantum physics is saying that, which is true, that there are infinite possibilities in the field. So further, let's understand a little bit of what quantum physics have said. Niels Bohr is saying everything we call real is made up of things that cannot be regarded as real. So quantum physics operate at the micro level. They operate at the subatom level. Inside the atom, they keep looking inside the atom. They're not looking at rooms like this, they're looking into the molecules, atoms, inside the atom, what is there. That's quantum physics research and quantum physics subject. So, deep inside, everything is made up of subatomic particles, atom broken down. So, you take a body, organs, cells, made up of molecules, made up of atoms, right? So far this picture everyone understands? Do you understand? Everybody understands what this is, right? Now, an atom, what they've discovered is this much empty. An atom is how much empty? They discovered that an atom is 99.9999 all lines empty. This is what they discovered. Okay. And it is filled with energy. Okay. Now you put that into perspective here. Human body made up of organs, made up of billions of cells, which is made up of trillions of molecules, made up of trillions of atoms, but an atom is empty. How much empty? You are taking too long to say it, please round it. 100% empty. So if a cell is empty, I mean if an atom is empty, now you can also see it. This is an atom, inside an atom a proton and nucleus, and then proton, neutron here, and the electron. Now how much of it is empty if this is an atom of this shape? All of it is empty nearly, you can make out. But what they found is, you can say okay maybe 5% is occupied by these two because they have weight, the electron and proton, but everything else is emptiness. So you say 95% is empty. But what they found is 99.999% is empty. So all of it is empty. If this is all of it is empty, now should molecules all be empty then? Then the cells be empty then? Then organ be empty then? Then human body should be empty then? Now this is what they're saying is then that now this is an atom. Now what is there in this also atoms? And everything that we see, including our bodies, everything is that. So then, in the entire universe, they are saying that it is the matter, what we perceive as this physical reality is only 0.000001%. It's all really energy. It's all energy. Now even that electron and neutron, proton that we thought is matter, which constitutes that 0.1%, even they are energy by default. This is what they discovered. These things are actually not particles, they are actually by default energy. They are rotating the orbit. Electrons and neutrons that we thought are particles, even they are energy by default. So that 0.01% what we thought as matter, even that is, first of all, it is nearly all of it is empty and energy. A tiny percent which is matter, that is also is by default what quantum physics found is energy but not particle. They have done experimentation, right? Okay. So they are not particles, they are waves or energy and have many possibilities of collapsing into matter. So now we have these trillions of electrons of each and every one of us. They're all as energy. Right? They're all as energy are there. how many ways? Now, but the energy becomes matter through observation. Energy becomes matter through observation. It's called a double slit experimentation. When you observe, that electron becomes matter. They've done this experiment to demonstrate. Okay. So now if you have all these electrons, everything is by default energy of this entire universe. Now all of them can become matter. How many combinations you can take to experience? I have there Pati Ravkumarji. Good to see you there. Ravkumarji is there, and then I am here. Now we both can imagine that we are going on a Himalayan expedition. That's one combination. All of us can decide and say we'll go to Egyptian tour, right? Or some of us can say that no, I'll experience this. So there are many combinations of experience are there. Now, in order for that me and Ravikumarji to become an Himalayan expedition, so I need to imagine, or I need to bring up that experience that okay, we both are going, let's say, to Mahathar Babaji caves and we are meditating there together. So the energy, now in the thought field, I'm trying to bring up a concept of Babaji caves, concept of we both traveling, concept of we going there and then experiencing that meditation there. And so then my thought is energy, and so that energy, when I'm thinking about this experience in energy, with observation according to quantum physics experimentation, that becomes matter. So the moment I think of an experience like that, and then slowly that becomes real, because wherever you put your attention, wherever you put your observation, that energy becomes matter. Okay. So these combinations of electrons and neutrons, they are there. There are infinite combinations are there because you have infinite ways that can be combined together. In this room alone, we are about 50 people, and all of us, how many combinations are there? 50 factorial. That's a big number. In so many ways, we can experience life. All of us together, 2 of us, 3 of us, 5 of us, like that, right? Because so many ways we can experience. So infinite combinations are there in this entire field of energy, where everything is energy by default. Energy becomes matter through our selection of an experience. An experience is nothing but a set of subatomic particles. Every experience we have in life is nothing but a set of subatomic particles of you and me and the places of Himalayas and all of that I collapse into my reality so that I see it in front of me. Okay, I said a lot of words, but the point is, how is energy converted to matter? There is an experiment. I'll show you the next slide. So everything as energy is one and not separate. So there are a few points here we understand this from a quantum physics perspective. For the purpose of this point 2, which is being open to possibilities, we have infinite protons and neutrons and electrons. They're all as energy, they're sitting there. And then you can take any combination of them by thinking about an experience that you're seeking. Then it automatically a combination of those electrons and neutrons come into picture. Now you're thinking about me, thinking about Patti Ravikumarji and then me. That means we are talking about electrons and neutrons of him and me and then Himalayas, and maybe we travel by road, and all of that come into picture. Now all of them have to start collapsing into the physicality, so that at some point that experience shows up for me, right? It's based on how much I can think about that experience that I'm seeking to have, how clearly I can think about having that experience. Okay, but the combinations are plenty. They are there, infinite possibilities it's called. Electron is there, it has energy and becomes matter, and so the first part is that. Now this slide is trying to tell that in that field of energy we are connected as one. In energy field we are connected as one. In this, the light source are all connected as one light source. Here, there are multiple lights are there, but can you separate which light is coming from which light? You can't do it. So same way, when we are by default as energy inside, as energy then, energy is what? It's a wave. They all mix up. Just like light is a wave. The mix up then becomes one. So in the field of quantum, according to quantum physics, deep inside we are energy. By the way, our body is oscillating. The electrons are oscillating up to 5 to 6 times a second. So we don't even realize, we can't see it, but it is oscillating. A light is there, light is flickering, you know this. When low voltage is there, the flicker is seen. But we see it as a continuous light, but it actually flickers, right? When it is fast enough, we can't distinguish. So same way, when our body, electrons are becoming energy and matter regularly, we don't even realize it. It becomes energy, it becomes matter, becomes energy, it becomes matter. So same way, dear friends, in energy, we all are connected as one, because a light source is like one, you can't separate them. Waves, you have multiple waves in a pond. Slowly, they become one. They form into a new shape. Initially, they have like a round shape of waves going. When they come together, they connect, you get a new wave. Can you separate and say which part is from the other one stone, another part is from another stone? You can't. So same thing concept is in the quantum field. When we see ourselves as energy, we're all connected. We become one light. We become one thing, not separate. It's called quantum entanglement. We cannot really separate each other there. We're all as one. In meditation, then when I was talking earlier, when you transcend your body, when you remove your body, you experience that energy. When you experience that energy, then that energy is one. So then you suddenly start finding the connection with everybody. Because you are experiencing an energy field. In the energy field, everything is connected. You and I and everyone is connected as that. And you're no longer looking yourself as physical matter, and you elevate yourself and drop that matter idea. The notion is coming from here in my mind of thought and my senses. And when I drop them, then I'm suddenly finding myself as this energy being. In that energy being, I'm experiencing this entire field of energy. So I'm experiencing the connection to every individual. So when I come out of it, will I continue to have that connection? Probably yes. For example, if 10 friends, you all had differences, you go into a trekking, you spend 10 days, what happens at the end of 10 days? You would have forgotten about differences, you would have had a nice time, you come back for the one day and the second day and third day, the differences are still not there. You still feel like, okay, they're all are here, so no problem. If he doesn't agree also a little bit, you still are saying, okay, no problem, he's only no. So you're still one with the other person for a few days until the time all the issues flare up, and then where you start seeing separate and you start blaming each other again. But at least for a few days that stays. Same concept. When you find that connection in the meditation, in the field, you come out of it, it will carry for some time. And so then you find that oneness with everybody. That's called oneness. It's not just a statement and saying oneness is there. In meditation, experience oneness. And so that means what? That means I don't just like that get angry with somebody. I don't ignore somebody and then only take care of me in a selfish way. Okay? Because oneness, so just the way I take care of my family, my friends, and same thing here. 10 days of trip in trekking together, when I come back, my reaction to somebody's requirement is different than when I have a lot of differences where my reactions are different. Let him go to hell is what we would have said before. But after 10 days we come back and say, oh, he wants something, okay, let me see how can I help, right? That's how we say, because we're bonded so well. But the bonding will go away if we don't go into such situations again. That's why, hope you understand, in meditation we connect with each other regularly, and that can be maintained when you're regular with meditation, where you're going back and finding the connection again and again and again, right? So then your anger, your oneness will keep being there with people when you are regular with meditation. When you're regular with meditation, then the moment you have this oneness feeling, then you are a different person altogether, right? Then you are compassionate at your heart. They are automatically are joyful, even though they are telling you many things. You're not bothered about saying, okay, maybe they have a challenge. That's what we do, right? When children snap at you, oh, must be something wrong, must be some issue at school, must be some issue at college. This is how we think about them. But a colleague, how dare that fellow is doing it? But in meditation, that oneness comes, not only children. Children is driven through a biological relationship. In meditation, you will have an energy relationship, you will have the connection. So you feel that way, and so you don't feel the same. You feel the same as you feel with your son. When they shout at you, you think there must be a problem for them. Okay, there must be a challenge for this colleague, and that's why he's doing it. Let me step back and see. A politician does something, okay, maybe he has a challenge. Maybe he had got a lot of situations in a sticky situation, why he is not able to do. Maybe he has a weakness, right? When our relatives have a weakness, and suppose you find that no, there are some extramarital affairs is there, what do you do for the relatives? Oh, so maybe a weakness, and let me see how to get out of them, how to get them out of it. That's how you think. If it is a politician who is trying to make a big thing, or say, how dare he is using public money, he's got this, and we don't shout at them. But it won't happen. We can see them the same as your own relative, your own thing. Yes, I know there is a weakness. He is drinking, I know there is some weakness, I need to get them out, is how you think about a relative, but the same thing we extend rather than trying to make the problem bigger through our thought, dear friends. So coming back to how this energy becomes matter is through observation. A subatomic particle becomes matter through observation. You take notes. It's called double slit experimentation there's a video by Fred Alan Wolf. Watch this video, it's about 5-minute video. Later, I'm moving forward here, but this tells about, and you have to watch this over and over to try to understand this concept, alright, little bit. That electrons by default they thought are particle but behave like energy, and then they put an observer, a conscious observer who is thinking that it should become matter, then it starts showing up as particle. When they remove the observer, electron by default stays as energy like a wave. So that experimentation tells in technical language. So the point, dear friends, is that the second step of openness to possibilities is there are infinite possibilities. Anything can happen anytime. When you told, can you become Prime Minister, is it possible? You said yes, possible. Stay on the possibility. Be open to the possibility. If you want to become, you thinking that I say kaise hoga, that's not going to help you. So we say stay on the possibility of what can serve you, your interest, rather than trying to say, because you don't know how it's going to happen, right? When IVM came to me, I didn't know how it's going to happen, but it is coming to me. So it's coming to me, then I pursued it. But when you pursue such unrealistic, what we think as ideas, we'll get enough support to tell you that, okay, there is something is happening here. When you are believing you to become a Prime Minister, whatever, then you will get enough messages along the way to make you believe that this is happening for you so that you can continue. Otherwise, it's difficult to continue. So, the idea of open to possibilities is anything can happen anytime. And so then why unnecessarily conclude that something is not possible? Right? Whatever that you're wishing to have, in the field of infinite possibilities of thoughts create reality, I want to grow my business. I want to see my friend becomes a great friend to me again, because we had such a serious difficulties, they broke apart, right? Now your mind may be saying it's impossible that the person will agree to you anymore because something deep happened. They shouted at each other, touched their heart, and so then you may say that, and so you say it's impossible. That openness to possibility is saying that possibility of they becoming a normal exists in the quantum field, so let me be open about it. Let me be open about it. Why should I say it's impossible? Because I really touched them hard, right? Do you get that?
Yes.
Okay. Small things day to day, when you are booking tickets, oh, this is too difficult, it's not going to happen. Last minute if you book tickets, it's going to be very expensive. You go into that like that, and then many times we don't try. You try, but anyway it's not going to happen. The statements we use, some people use that. You try, okay, you want to try, you can go and then tell your boss to change the system, anyway it's not going to happen. That means we're closed in the first place for the possibility. When we approach something with that statement, you want to try, okay, you do. But deep inside, he wants to try, but I've tried enough times and he doesn't understand it. This is how we tell. And we are close to the possibility. That's what we are saying. I've tried, it didn't happen, but next moment that person can change their mind, isn't it? I went for a donation, okay, it happened for us. We went for a donation. 2 times this company said no. The 3rd time, somebody else called them. They said, okay, we'll give you. Now, normal thing is, okay, so you called 2 times and then didn't work, and so you stop there, right? The possibility of being open to the possibility that anything can happen when you try and say, let it happen, right? So this is the second element. A lot of times we are stuck here. We are stuck here saying that it's not possible. The third thing, dear friends, is visualizing your future, which is visualizing a future ahead of your, what do you have here? Okay, yeah. This is visualizing future ahead of the experience. So it's called dreaming. Dreaming is, like your group is being awarded a quarterly award because you performed well. And so then when a colleague gets it or other business group gets it, you are suddenly thinking, oh, it will be very nice for me also to receive it. And for a moment you'll go into this visualization mode. Okay, how nice it is if my CEO is actually calling me and then I'm going and then picking up that award or whatever. All right. You're visualizing about something that you seek to experience right now. That's all it is. Whatever that you wish to visualize, you want that promotion, you want to experience a big meditation center, you want to do a lot of service, whatever that is, you think as if it's happening to you right now. You think as if it's happening to you right now. In the quantum field, everything is energy. All electrons, neutrons are all waiting as possibilities because as energy, they're waiting there to become matter. And it's up to us to bring them into matter by what? By visualization, by intention. Okay. So visualization means that I have the time by that experience that I'm having. If I get promoted, then what are the 5 things I'm going to experience? There must be a good reason of why you want promotion. Right? Do you want promotion, Sagarika? Okay, there you go. You are running your own venture. So do you want to be very successful, grow revenue? Why? So impactful. So define it more. What is impact? What does that do to you? If you don't know, then we have a challenge here in visualizing. We need to have sufficient clarity of why I want my revenue to grow. For what? Number 1, yes, I get more monetary benefit which will enable you to certain physical experiences. Right? There must be a reason of, if you just like that wishing what says, okay, I'm going to spend this money on this and this and this. And I'm going to have a nice office where I'm going to walking into the office and sitting in that corner seat and I feel that way. No problem. So if that is a vision because you're inspired by every time somebody walks in, right, into an office and a corner office and I want to be there and then for that you need a nice office and you visualize it and so you need money for it. That becomes one experience. Second experience is that I want to create an impact. Okay, what does it do to you? Why is that? For example, when I had my software, we are writing, always dreamt that Fortune 500 companies are using it, they're solving the serious problem they have, and then that sort of satisfies me intellectually or my emotionally I'm very, very satisfied that I'm able to contribute to somebody out there who have some serious challenges with their IT infrastructure. Okay, I had this feeling about it because in the prior company where I was using somebody else's software, then I knew how clients are saying, oh, this is really solved my problem. Okay, so that's when I was inspired to say, okay, I too can write something world class like this. Okay, then I want to experience that many, many large companies are saying good things about what your work that is helping them. Okay, that gives me immense joy that I was able to help them in their business to grow. Okay, so that clarity was there. So that is what I would imagine. Every time I talked about my company getting acquired or growing, that I would imagine that, okay, I have many, many clients using this significantly and they're all coming back and saying your software is great and it solves a real problem for us. They're telling me back and then I'm feeling great about it, right? That whole sequence is imagined and visualized. Okay. Now, now I was not exactly thinking that clients are acquired. Instead, this whole visualization happened to me, you know how? IBM acquired us, and then IBM, and before IBM we had about 300 clients. With IBM we have, suddenly in no time, we had only Fortune 2 Fortune 500 clients before IBM, but post IBM we had 80% of the Fortune 500 clients because now IBM acquisition took care of the software being run everywhere. So it doesn't matter how it needs to be done. We don't think of how to grow. We only think of what is the end requirement that you want to have. I was interested in seeing that our software runs in Fortune 500 companies. Now, should I grow the business and do it? Or should somebody acquire and then so they suddenly do it? It doesn't matter. All I was looking for was it to be run everywhere, right? So normally what we do, we try to put logically and say, okay, to go there, I need to do this, I need to do that. This year I'll grow 50 customers, next year another more, next year another more, next year another more, like that we go linear. In between we stop. Oh, I don't have money, I can't go to US, I can't do this, it's not possible. But instead, if you only focus on visualizing what we want, then these miraculous possibilities show up, right? And then you work through it, and then acquisition happened, so then eventually all that thing that I was visualizing happened for me. So we need to have clarity of why we want something, and that's what you visualize for. Okay, why you want what you want. Whatever you want, there needs to be a why behind it. Ask yourself, okay. So I'm getting promoted, so that gives me enablement to do a lot more training to many employees that I can share my knowledge. Some people want that, right? Promotion means they feel like, okay, they can really set the strategy for the company. They're looking for it. So then they imagine they're setting the strategy because they got promoted in that level. Second, maybe then some people are saying, I will go and then talk about my company's products to the clients. So they're thinking that, because of the promotion, they get extra travel. Large clients, they have access. When you sometimes, only with senior positions, you get access to large clients. Otherwise, you're not sent. So then you say, okay, I can influence the large clients. Or some people simply want travel. So they want that promotion, they can get extra travel. That requirement, whatever that is, if we can be clear about it, then you think about and imagine about that as if you are experiencing those. Your promotion has happened. Now you're imagining that, yes, you're traveling everywhere. You're nicely checking out the hotels. You're just freaking out, right? No, do it. It doesn't matter, right? You are in this employee environment with your promotion. You're helping to do your town hall meetings or your brown bag lunches with them. Every time you're giving a concept to them, they all are happy learning from you, right? So that is there. So you imagine of the future experience things that if your goal is met, what experience I'll draw into my life, those are the things you imagine. Are you clear on it? Do you understand? If your goal is met, I want a lot of money. Why do you want money? What is it for? So you don't go after money. You don't go after a person. Instead, you go after an experience. That's the whole concept. Money is there. Money is required for what? Okay, I'm building a big house, a nice house, I'm there. Imagine that you're in that 5-bedroom house. Be clear, why is it 5-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom, but then be clear, okay, I have money, so imagine that you're able to go and then buy that land, do organic farming. That's why you want money, right? Now imagine about the experience of you doing an organic farming and then you got this land and everything and you're doing beautifully. So that because money then automatically will come to support it if money is required. Don't bother about money requirement because maybe somebody will come and say, you know what, you be part of my partnership and then anyway I've got a lot of land, you come and do organic farming, right? So it is possible. If your experience is about experiencing organic farming, you don't care who gives you land, right? You gives you land, it is possible too. So those are the things that we need to be clear about. Okay, what is it that I want? Okay, in London, somebody came to me and said, sir, I am promoting veganism. So I'm making vegan videos, content on veganism. And so I said, okay, content veganism, then the videos have to have, my visualization is that I have this big channel and then I've got this millions of views are there on it. That's what he was thinking about. I said, be clear. What do you want out of this? You want this vegan content to grow, right? What do you want? You want a YouTube channel with a lot of views, or you want your content to be taken? Because veganism, there are so many organizations that are promoting veganism which are much bigger. If one of them picks up your content, suddenly it goes to so many people, right? Your idea is that people are being aware of veganism through your content, and so then you get a lot of responses from them and say, okay, this is lovely content, and then people are appreciating. Is that the experience you're seeking, or are you seeking an experience of your own YouTube channel? Every time you go to youtube.com and you'll see that, okay, 5 million clients and 5.5 million clients. What is that you're seeking for? Get clarity about it, okay? It is okay either way. I want my YouTube channel and then so much is fine. Or I just want a lot of people using it and I feel great about people gaining veganism and becoming vegan. That's all it is. So when you have clarity, then things become more and more, then you can visualize appropriately. This person, if he didn't have clarity, then he would only be visualizing a YouTube channel. But that may not necessarily be the best way, unless if his real intention is to see that the veganism content goes, then you have to visualize that there is so many people are reaching out to him and then saying that, okay, this is amazing, because of you I was able to go into veganism, I'm having great life, my partner or some companies are saying it. That's all you need to do, as opposed to sticking onto his YouTube channel and then saying my success is based on the number of people that are there, all right? So there is a difference in what you are seeking as an experience. So we just need to be clear. So, but the point is that when you visualize the future, I'm going to set this, we're going to go into the detail of it in the afternoon. Okay, the afternoon we're going to draw vision boards. So visualization is done through vision boards. We're going to draw vision boards with unambiguous goals. Meditation gives clarity on the goals, and then we visualize that experience of the future as if they're happening to you. Okay, so we'll draw some boards post lunch, and then we go through a meditation around it. Okay. The fourth thing is limitations, limiting beliefs. Reprogram the limiting beliefs. This is what helped me to come out and ultimately get successful with my company. The limitations that I formed for myself, right? Limiting beliefs are formed regularly just like that. A lie told over a period of time becomes the absolute truth. How many people know this story? So that madam would know story. She heard at least a dozen times now. Can anybody tell the story? You know the story, madam? What is that? Lion story you have. I have a cat story. Cow and donkey limiting belief story. Okay. How it became true over time. Okay, please tell the story. I will look to learn from you.
So this was a story that there were these three people passing by from a village, and the first one, they looked at this animal and they said, "Oh, it's a cow." One said, "No, it's not a cow. It's a donkey." So no, look carefully. It's a cow. One also gets it. They are being so sure. It's a cow. Then the third one says, "No, it's a donkey. It's not a cow." Let's go and ask someone. The whole thing repeated, no, it's a cow and a donkey. So they went to some person and they said, like, these people are saying this is a cow or it's a donkey. So what do you believe? I think it's a cow. It's a cow.
Okay. So when you are hearing the same thing enough times from somebody, then you feel that is true, right? That is true. We hear enough times about Manmohan Singh ji, that how impaired a PM he was, and then we think it is true without even going into the detail of how great a prime minister he was, because we're only hearing what we wanted to hear. Okay, he was a great prime minister, did so many things, but for many people he was whatever, right? Now he just could not get many things done, or whatever. For many people it is that way. P.V. Narasimha was a great prime minister, opened up the economy significantly. For many people who what they wanted to limit and listen, they had a belief that, okay, just was a puppet, right? There are, the limiting beliefs are formed in many ways, and then you believe that, and then that's how it was. Like that barracuda fish had a limitation. He thought that now I cannot go, right? So this story is not required. Okay. So in a monastery where the students are getting taught in an open environment under a tree, and so then one day when the classes are going on by the teacher, a cat comes there and starts disturbing them. So this teacher tells them, okay, please tell the student, please tie the cat. They tie the cat. Now the cat is released and the session is over. Now 3 days later, cat came and started disturbing again. So they say, okay, fine. The teacher tells and the student goes and ties the cat again. Now it repeats again a week later. When a week later again it repeats, then the teacher tells, student goes. The next time when it happened, the students are thinking now, this is like happening regularly, I'm getting disturbed, he's always asking me. So from now on, I will tie the cat before I sit for the class. And then I release the cat after the class is over. So now the cat is getting tied every day. All right? Before the class is done, the cat is tied and then cat is released at the end of the class. This is how, by the way, rules are formed. So for it is done, 3% of the 100 times, but then you have a rule now that every time it is tied. Most people get into this generalization trap and then form rules. HR, which is known for rules, then it just forms rules just like that because so that is that. Then after a few days and after a few weeks, slowly the students change and the new students come. The new students come, old students are going away. And so new students are seeing, okay, my seniors are tying the cat and then doing it, so they also go and start tying the cat without questioning. Okay, they saw it, okay, they are doing it, so I also must do, and then they do it. It's too trivial an issue, too small an issue to talk, they're just tying it. After a few days later, the teacher changes, and the new teacher comes. The teacher is seeing, and then they're doing something, tying cat, maybe some reason, and the teacher doesn't bother. So it goes on, and at some point, the cat dies. So problem ended. And the students immediately went to the bazaar and bought a new cat and started tying it. All right?
Can I make a comment? A lie told over a period of time becomes instead of absolutely right, fabricated truth.
What is that?
Instead of the absolute truth word, the fabricated truth. Because it's a fabricated truth, it's not absolute truth. Cat will reveal the cat, but it's a fabricated truth. Fabricated truth.
So I'm saying that many of the beliefs don't have a basis. We just do it. Even now, I mean, somebody, where was that? After 6 years of meditation, and just because something crossed, and then they actually literally stopped, they went back to home and then came out inside and then they started going. All right, because we just don't want to let go of certain things. Literally stopped. I just cannot agree, but I was very surprised, and then I saw the behavior. But then this is how it is. We don't want to change our limitations that easily. First of all, that if it is truth, then we don't even question. Meditation helps us to, when I discuss these things, we'll start questioning. Now, everything here is a limiting belief. Everything here is a limiting belief. Okay, let's look at this. I'm not a lucky person. You think it's a limiting belief? Not a lucky person. Nothing ever happens in my way. Okay. I don't have enough time. Now tell me who has got this limiting belief. I don't have enough time. I'm too busy. You don't say. I don't have enough time. This is a limiting belief. It took me some time to understand. Okay. We create it. We create. Then how do you experiment it? You experiment and say, okay, I've got plenty of time. I'm going to do this. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Just say it to yourself and see what happens. And you'll be surprised that you will find incredible amount of time to do many things that you otherwise are simply postponing, saying that yes, please come here and share experience.
No, I don't want to share the experience, but as you said earlier.
Why you don't want to share? I'm asking you to share.
So which experience?
Your meditation experience, please come.
So first I'll talk about this.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Deha. I'm coming from Vizag. So time when sir said every time I used to say, oh, I don't have time. My friend's calling me. Would you like to come here? I said, no, मेरे को तो time ही नहीं है. I don't have time. I don't have time. Used to be so repetitive. Really, I realized I don't have time. Meditation helped me, but I think joining the coach program helped me more. I started, analyzing my thoughts. Now I'm very careful. I don't say I don't have time. I even don't say I have plenty of time. I'm very careful because I don't want to sit free and vela. So I say I'm very productive. I'm very productive. This is what I keep on telling myself. So I have reprogrammed what I even think to myself. And meditation experience, I entered meditation as forcibly, I would say. I was totally against meditation, and when I used to see somebody meditating, I used to think what they are doing, what they are doing sitting. So my father introduced meditation to my husband, and I used to see him sitting, and actually I used to think he's crazy, like what he's doing. I mean, how can somebody sit for 30, 40 minutes? And he used to wake me up. उठो उठो meditation करो. मैंने कहा तुमको जो करना है करो. Don't tell me no. Don't force me for this. And he became so every day he's meditating. And one day I called my father and I told him, listen, if he goes to Himalayas, you're responsible for this, okay, for my life. I think he'll leave the home and go away. But then my mother also entered meditation and she had beautiful experiences. And I told how the mother and daughter relationship is. So I was like, wow, these things do happen. She had such vigilance and everything happened. She said, you must do it. Okay. So when I started doing meditation, I was like, chalo dekhte hain hota kya hai, what exactly it is, just for the sake of it. At that time I was not working, okay, and I was really quite tense also कि कुछ भी नहीं है, because my husband is in a profession wherein we get transferred very frequently, so I was sitting idle doing nothing at that time. So I visualized myself wherein I am going and talking, and you can make out I love talking. Okay, so I visualized I am there, I'm speaking, I have people listening to me, and I'm sitting in front of the laptop and I'm talking. And things happened that way. I entered into training. I did my certification automatically. How that happened? I went to a party and a lady came to me and she started talking about it. I said, okay, can I do this? She said, why not? You can also do it. So I went for the certification, and within 2 years, things happened magically. And sir is talking about manifestation. Oh my God, it just works like wonders. Manifestation is just the most miraculous thing. Sir, I'll speak for more time, sir. I tried manifestation for the I think from a time when I was a child, I started manifesting without knowing I was actually manifesting. I was always the kind of child who was always daydreaming, कि ऐसा होगा, वैसा होगा. I was a big fan of Barkhadat at that time. I'll visualize myself going on the TV and, I'm sitting among the panelists there.
So when are you going on the TV?
Sir, it's happening. It has happened, sir.
This is already going on TV, by the way.
Okay, so this has also happened. So now what happened, I was in college and, professor came to me. They are inviting students in the panelists there and on a local TV although. So I went there. They liked it again. They again invited me there. Then I went for a big something there on the Jammu Doordarshan also. So I went there in my local language. I did that. I did that for Jammu AIR also just once. But that dream happened. So coming back to manifestation, I manifest जो भी सोचती थी ना वो होता था. But then certain challenges started happening. I lost that magical life, the fairy tale life. And thanks to meditation, I came back to again. Now I'm just manifesting. The recent one was that I felt there should be some project. No, काफी time हो गया कोई project नहीं है. अरे पता नहीं होगा नहीं होगा. And then I said no. Sir's words always keep on reminding me your thoughts create those realities. So I told myself it's already there and I don't want to work very hard this time. No, sir said मेहनत नहीं मतलब you should enjoy it. So I said it's just happening effortlessly. I thought that in the afternoon it has happened. I get a call from somebody in the afternoon and they said, Neha, would you like to go to this place if you're available? I said, yeah. And it was a hill station. I didn't have to work very hard for that. I went there, did a 2 days of training and came back, and it was a training that did not demand, a lot of hard work. I was very, very hard working. So मुझे लगा ठीक है ये भी तो अच्छा है. You don't have to work hard and you're coming back and enjoy. And when I came back from training, I realized I went on some leisure trip. You're getting money also, and it's a leisure trip also, and so travel because you were talking about it. I love solo travels. You know, there was a time I used to tell my friend, ठीक है 2 दिन बच्चे रह लेंगे, let's go together. No, 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 Neha, who will take care, who will take care? I said, ठीक है. But you know, everything happens so beautifully. Now in a profession wherein you get an opportunity to travel also. And you know, it's legit, you can go, you don't have to, you know, let me go, you know, you're seeking permissions from people and everywhere. So I love solo travel, and why I came to GCML was meditation. Second, meeting sir, and third was also the solo travel that I do. So I think I am living a fairy tale life, you know. And one more thing, early morning, you know, I've grown up in a family where you listen to bhajans and everything in a very, very, you know, religious way. Now I listen to Karen Drucker songs, thanks to sir. The day starts with that, and I think now I say I have a miraculous life. I have an amazing life. And last thing, sir, I'm taking your time. Last thing, because when I start, no. Okay, last year. So there are many things that I have started, you know, reprogramming. Like earlier, I used to think this person doesn't listen to me, you know, nobody listens to me. Now I have started telling myself things happen the way I want. But yes, the intentions have to be right. You should not, you know, think negative or harm anybody. So thank you so much for your time and patience. Thank you.
Okay. So enough about limiting beliefs. So this subject of overcoming limiting beliefs has to be done by a few things you have written here. We're not going to go into the detail of it, but you can go get enough material about it in your the placebo book. Okay. The paucity of time, we chose the visualization segment in the next one than this. But regular meditation, reading books and listening to others' experiences, these are essential to overcome your limitations. When you read the books, and we're going to send you a list of 25 books, and you start with them. And if you read them, then you'll automatically become very, very empowered in anything you, along with meditation, if you do, then everything is given. Then there is something called developing empowering beliefs, and I form them visualizations. That's you will learn automatically as you understand these concepts quite well. Okay, and then the last step is accepting and expressing gratitude. So this is the fifth one. So what is the first one, by the way? Focus. Second one, open to possibilities. Third one, visualizing. Fourth one, fifth one is the last important tool is acceptance, and expressing gratitude is a subset of it. Acceptance is whatever happens. If thoughts create reality, my today's experience must have been because of the past. I've told several times, my son delays always homework, gets me into trouble. Several times I told this. Several times I kept echoing this many, many times. So then, even though I started a manifestation that he is doing great and nothing, he is doing great and we don't have this challenge, but then I'm still getting that call from the teacher. Okay, it's because my past I've said it so many times, and so then that is still continuing. So give it some time. Just because it's happening now, you say, oh, this is not happening. Even though I'm visualizing, I still am getting called by the teachers, and so then it is not working and I stop, then you're going back to your old thinking again. Instead, even though it happens, whatever that happens against your visualization, accept as potentially from the past, and then continue to imagine and dream about, don't give up. One way of it. But this is most important, accepting. You looking for promotion, suddenly that promotion has gone to somebody. Then what do? Oh, I didn't work, it is over. Look at acceptance. Now it's over, it doesn't work, and oh, it's so sad, I didn't get it, it's not, now I have to wait for one more year. See, so many thoughts we release right there. I have to wait for one more year, so then yourself are creating something for one more year. But in the reality, is it possible that there is a new promotional thing that gets created? We just talked about the possibilities. Is it possible the guy who is taking promotion also already was on the jobs hunt and then get another job somewhere else, better job goes? Again, same thing, right? So many ways things come in our way, or another department opens up a promotion, you're recommended to go there, right? So rather than giving up just because that thing is over there, we continue our manifestation, because manifestation has nothing to do with your current circumstance. Manifestation has nothing to do with your current circumstance. It has everything to do with that possibility that is there, which you're attracting. That's all it is. We are trying to limit ourselves, saying, okay, this is not possible, or this is over, so impossible now, then business can do it and all that, right? For example, I apply for an IAS officer seat. Now I wrote exams and then I didn't get a seat. Does it mean that you should abandon? You continue. Those who continued definitely was excelled. Those who had a positive mind continued a second attempt or third attempt, they got it, they got through. So, accepting what is happening is essential to be and say, okay, if I'm not getting an IAS officer seat this time, maybe there's a good reason. Maybe I'm personally getting developed a lot more. If I get a seat next year, that's probably is the best for me, and so then I will wait to continue to imagine and dream about my IAS officer seat, and so then I accordingly can go there. So this is important. A lot of times we have this time as a barrier. In manifestation, time is not ours. Space is not ours. Space and say, when I want a 5-bedroom house, is it okay? It has to be only in Bangalore or Delhi, or can it happen somewhere else? How do you care? You care for an experience of having a great house and a lot of people coming and partying, is that what it is? But do you really fixate it upon just right there? If you need to have that, of course you can keep that. But then understand why it should be. In your company, promotion is required. Do you require and care for it to be in Bangalore only? Why? We have this artificial limit on space and time. It has to be coming in the next 6 months. Why 6 months? What happens if it happens in 12 months? Can it happen in 1 month? Is there a problem? Right? So time in the quantum field of the quantum field of infinite possibilities, where everything is happening simultaneously, there's no time and space. Everything gets collapsed into nothingness. And so then for manifestation, no time. Time is not in our hand. We continue to imagine and dream. We dreamt of Prime Minister of India coming to our conference. Some people dreamt, it didn't happen. Doesn't mean that we gave up our dream. The next best thing happened for us. We say this, okay, whatever best has happened, because it prepared us to see what it means to have a dignitary, top 3 dignitaries of India come and join. Because if we had gotten Prime Minister, we probably would have lost many opportunities that otherwise we were not ready to take at this point. We are not ready, we can clearly see. Because what is readiness? If Prime Minister of India comes, and then there could definitely be a call about what can we do. We ourselves are not clear what can we do. What is that we want? We ourselves are not clear about our ask. Other than saying that, okay, meditation should become a policy, okay, fine, everybody says, okay, I'm ready to do. But what is that? Tell me a little more specifically. We don't have enough clarity to say what is that specific thing. So we need to be prepared, and so then sometimes manifestation won't happen the way you expect to happen. It is always happening for the best time possible. Okay, a student not getting admission on this year into a college does not mean that no, he is not good. It only means that he is not ready yet. Maybe when he goes into the next year, when we administer there, maybe he'll have a right environment that time. The right professors understanding his psyche will support him a lot more better than an environment he goes this year and can have all kinds of troubles. You and I don't know, but an air traffic controller knows which flight to go, when to land. And so that's what happens, the meditation is helping you to connect and then surrender. So there is something else that is there. So the acceptance is, if I didn't get my seat this year, I didn't get admission, no problem, I continue to work. But then people give up because we have this time notion, oh no, my year goes waste, I don't want to do it. What happens if 1 year goes waste? Is that a big problem? Is that a big problem? If 1 year I did not go, is that a big problem? We have a wrong notion. We said, no, you can't be, because this is going to put pressure, and then suddenly, you'll be behind your friends. So what? My friends are different level. In my college, there is a guy, there are few people who are like close to, there are 4 GPA is the cutoff. 4 is the cutoff out of 10, bits Pilani. And so there's some people who are getting like, 4.1, 4.2 is so low, practically just as a border. Some are at 9.1s and 10s, and 9 to 10, all that is like really good. So there is so much of psyche, gets impacted because somebody is not studying well. Everybody is pouncing on them, right? You don't study well, you don't do this, you don't do that. But tell you, what happened now, today when I look back and then say, in the last 30 years of after the thing, they are also at a very, very successful positions as much as I am. That person who was at 4.13 GPA, almost failed state, is a very successful doctor in Virginia. Very, very successful doctor. He probably earned a lot more money than me. All right. If money is a measure of success, all right, then whatever that is. So it doesn't really matter. We have this wrong notion of time in our mind and then fixate to time and say if things don't happen, we say it's not happening and then we give up. Students, when they don't get admission, then they immediately switch to number 2, number 3. Rightfully so. You already have 3 choices. You didn't have 1 choice. I'm okay to get anywhere. So then you're settling to the second and the third. That means in the first place, you're not passionate about going to that college. If you are passionate about going to that college, often I want to be in this college because of I have so many experiences I need to have. That college provides me that experience. It gives me a lot of research. It has some great professor. I'm going to sit with the professor. For that, the student has to do the homework of saying, why do I want that college? Not because it's top 5 college, I also wanted to go to the top 5. It may not be the best for him. They study the research, the facilities, the professors, and then what experience they're seeking by going to a top college. Maybe if I do that college, then I get into a consulting SM at Deloitte, and so then that's why I want to be in the college. Visualize. Then if you know it, then you can visualize about you getting a consulting SM at Deloitte because you're going to the college, then you are moved into that college admission, right? Without clarity, I simply want, okay, some top 5 because everybody is telling me that's good. It may not happen. You get disappointed, you take something else. That means there's no passionate drive for being specifically studying in a specific college, right friends? So acceptance is, assuming that concept is understood in visualization, acceptance is take what comes. If you're passionate about a specific goal, don't settle for anything other than that, and then continue to do even if it feels like a rejection in the temporarily, right? Keep doing it, believe in the possibility, and so you figure out what are the ways. Meditation is a great way to accept reality. It disengages from the past. It keeps you very open about the future because of this thing that you are connected. You start seeing miracles every now and then. Now, for example, Nehaji's life is turned. She cannot go back and say, okay, things don't happen, right? Because you have experienced sufficiently that you feel like, yes, this is possible, right, friends? So gratitude is a great way to come out of this, failures or things that are not necessarily happening. But gratitude is also a very important way to go into a very joyful mode. They have figured and they said, when you are in a happy mode, our body is emitting a high amount of energy, electromagnetic energy. Our body goes into a coherent state with